opportunity to deliver the Indonesian House perspective on today's discussion topic. We would like to highlight several points. First, promoting sustainable development depends critically on investment and technology transfer, particularly in developing countries. Investment in sustainable infrastructure, clean energy, and environmentally friendly industries offers the financial backbone for green transitions. Not every country, however, has enough resources or capacity to acquire technology and capital. Indonesia, in this regard, is one of those that requires investment and technology transfer in order to be able to fully achieve sustainable development. On that note, Indonesia House is of the view that BRICS can provide an opportunity for alternative funding to support critical infrastructure and sustainable development projects in member countries, including the energy transition. It also provides collaborative opportunities in the agriculture industry with the goal of increasing productivity and efficiency. This is significant for Indonesia since we prioritize achieving national food self-sufficiency while contributing to global hunger relief initiatives. BRICS also provides market diversification and huge opportunities for strategic partnership with its members. Further, the new Development Bank, or NDB, has also been providing financing in developing countries related to clean energy and energy efficiency, social infrastructure, and digital infrastructure. Honorable, in terms of investment and technology transfer, as an addition, Indonesia is also keen to bring up concerns regarding our downstream policy for discussion within BRICS, as it requires significant investment and technology transfer to speed up the downstream process of transforming raw resources into finished or semi-finished products. It also needs processing facilities and cutting-edge technology, the majority of which is provided through international investment and partnership. Thank you very much.
We would like to thank Deputy Husein Fadhulloh for her speech, and I would like to say the possibility of showing Mr. Slutsky from the Russian Federation will not be able to be here. I wanted to give the floor to Mr. Mostafa Taheri, member of the Consulting Assembly of Iran, with the time of 5 minutes.
The honorable members, distinguished guests, while the international economic order is facing diverse challenges, our role in BRICS has become more crucial than ever. This meeting symbolizes our collective will to deepen cooperation and shape a suitable and prosperous future for our nations. One of the fundamental pillars of sustainable development is the promotion of investment among BRICS member states, both bilaterally and multilaterally. To achieve this goal, it is essential to create a conducive investment environment by strengthening the rule of law, ensuring transparent contract enforcement, and protecting investors' rights. We must ensure that investors, both domestic and foreign ones, enjoy legal and economic security. This can be realized by drafting coherent regulations, enhancing independent judicial systems, and establishing effective dispute resolution mechanisms. Regulatory complexity and bureaucracy often pose major obstacles to investment. Simplifying legal processes, reducing redundant procedures, and creating transparent licensing pathways can accelerate investment flows among BRICS members. To attract investment, financial incentives such as as exemptions, tax breaks, and credits are necessary. A skilled workforce is the backbone of modern economies. Investing in education and workforce skill enhancement, particularly in technology and innovation, is vital to meet the labor market demands of BRICS. Such investment not only boosts productivity, but also helps reduce unemployment and poverty in member countries. Developing technical and vocational education programs tailored to the BRICS job market is a key step towards sustainable development. These programs should be designed in collaboration with the private sector. Special economic zones, through offering specific incentives and simplified regulations, can become hubs for attracting investment. These zones, focusing on industries like green technology, smart manufacturing, and logistics, can encourage investors to participate in large-scale projects. Facilitating business registration, reducing startups costs, especially for entrepreneurs and small businesses, is of special importance. Creating online platforms for company registration, lowering legal expenses, can provide a favorable environment for innovation and entrepreneurship. These efforts are particularly crucial for attracting small and medium-sized investments, which are key drivers for BRICS economies. Developing stock and bond markets in BRICS countries offers an effective way to finance business infrastructure projects. Strengthening regional stock exchange and introduce innovative financial instruments such as green bonds for sustainable projects can provide the financial resources. Supporting stand-ups and innovating companies through the establishment of venture capital fund is another way to strengthen the innovation ecosystem within BRICS. These funds can help startups in areas such as digital technology, healthcare, and clean energy turn their ideas into commercial products and services. Developing student and researcher exchange programs is an effective way to share knowledge and skills among BRICS countries. These programs can be implemented through scholarships, joint training courses, and international research projects. Investment in research and development is essential to maintain BRICS competitiveness in the global economy. Allocating resources to research projects in areas such as artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and green technologies can lead to innovation and economic growth. Collaboration among research centers in BRICS countries can reduce research costs and accelerate outcomes. Establishing technology transfer networks among BRICS member states allows for the sharing of knowledge and cutting-edge technology. These networks can include technology parks, innovative centers, and online collaboration. Parliaments play a pivotal role in implementing these strategies. Through legislation, they can establish frameworks to support investment, technology transfer, and sustainable development. In conclusion, I would like to once again sincerely thank you, all of you, and hope that this meeting would turn into turning point for our cooperation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Agradeço o deputado Mostafa Taheri. Concedo a palavra neste momento ao senhor deputado Mohamed Mostafa El-Salabi, presidente da Comissão de Indústria da Câmara dos Representantes da República Árabe do Egito, pelo tempo de 5 minutos.
Representative of Egypt for the time of 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the BRICS Parliamentary Forum. At the outset, I'd like to express my profound appreciation for the continuous and tireless effort to advance the frameworks of cooperation among member states at all levels. The previous meetings have significantly contributed to deepening the bonds of relations and cooperation among our nations. In the same vein, we highly value the work of this forum, which serves as an important platform for exploring various investment and development opportunities among the BRICS countries. This will undoubtedly contribute to strengthening intra-BRICS investments, trade, and joint projects, which will in turn enhance our efforts to meet the aspirations of our peoples and achieve the desired economic growth. Distinguished attendees, at a time when the world is witnessing successive and unprecedented international challenges and crises that require the collective effort of all to find effective solutions and give the more serious challenges and arduous tasks faced by developing countries in achieving the sustainable development goals, The BRICS nations should be companions on the path of development and renaissance. They should reject decoupling, breaking chains, or economic coercion. Instead, they should focus on constructive cooperation and enhanced communication, particularly in areas such as investment, technology transfer, the digital economy, green development, supply chains, and other areas of collaboration. Additionally, efforts should be intensified to advance the Sustainable Development Agenda, which is primarily a shared responsibility by leveraging the competitive advantages of each country to launch joint projects that contribute to enriching economic integration among BRICS nations. It goes without saying that sustainable development is one of the most critical challenges and opportunities facing societies in the modern era. Through it, the world seeks to achieve the balance between economic growth, environmental preservation, and the improvement of social quality of life. In this context, investment is considered the cornerstone of achieving sustainable development. By adopting smart and integrated investment strategies, countries and institutions can achieve a balance between economic development and the preservation of natural resources for future generations, ensuring that society's transition towards a more sustainable and equitable future. This transformation requires joint efforts between governments, the private sector, and civil society, with a focus on developing policies and legislation that facilitate the flow of investments into projects with positive social and environmental impacts. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt that expanding cooperation among BRICS nations in the field of technology and innovation constitutes an important step and an urgent necessity towards enhancing sustainable development and technological advancement within the group. This requires increased investment in digital infrastructure, which contributes to strengthening the competitiveness of the alliance in the global market. It is worth noting that BRICS markets open new opportunities for member states and investors. Joint investment projects in energy and digital infrastructure across BRICS nations present profitable opportunities for investors. In addition to initiatives offered by the new Development Bank, this makes the alliance an economic model aimed to promoting sustainable growth among its members. Dear colleagues, Egypt is moving confidently along the path of economic reform and comprehensive development, aiming to achieve a more sustainable and resilient economy capable of withstanding crises. In this context, the government has recently taken a series of ambitious steps and measures to improve the investment climate and strengthen the role of the private sector in leading economic development. These efforts also include removing obstacles faced by investors and introducing a package of customs exemption and tax incentives aimed at simplifying bureaucratic procedures. Distinguished attendees, I take this opportunity to express our sincerest hopes that this forum will yield tangible outcomes that contribute to strengthening investments and economic cooperation among our nations. We emphasize the utmost importance of investing in human resources, as it's a fundamental component and prerequisite for achieving development and progress in our country. Thank you very much for your attention and consideration.
Concedo a palavra ao senhor deputado Sergei.
Deputy Sergei Rachkov, President of the Committee of Foreign Relations of the Representative Chamber of Belarus, with whom I had the pleasure to talk for a while, a little earlier. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Colleagues,
the Republic of Belarus, being an active participant in international economic initiatives, is ready to offer its BRICS partners a comprehensive system of investment support and technology transfer. Our country combines industrial potential, a developed agricultural sector, and a strong scientific base, which makes it a reliable partner for joint projects. The Republic of Belarus has special economic regimes in support of industrial cooperation and investment. These are 6 free economic zones offering investors tax incentives, including exemption from income tax, VAT and property tax. These preferences will remain in force until 2050. The Great Stone Industrial Park, created jointly with our Chinese partners, deserves special attention. This large-scale project provides exclusive conditions for doing business. A 10-year tax holiday on key payments with the possibility of their extension. In 2024, the law on investment was comprehensively updated, offering a wide range of instruments to protect the interests and support investors. The high-tech park offers participants preferential taxation at a rate of only 10% and a unique principle of extraterritoriality. The geopolitical position of Belarus as a natural transport hub of Eurasia opens up broad prospects for cooperation in the field of logistics. Our country is ready to become a platform for creating modern logistics hubs, where advanced technologies, including blockchain and the Internet of Things, IoT, will be used to build transparent and efficient supply chains. These are not just infrastructure projects. These are new standards of international trade. An equally important area is the development of human resources. Belarus offers comprehensive professional exchange programs and joint educational initiatives with the country's leading universities. We are ready to share our experience in training highly qualified specialists for high-tech industries, which are especially relevant in the era of digital transformation of economies. Dear colleagues, in the era of global transformations, when traditional economic ties are being revised, it is multilateral cooperation formats such as BRICS that are acquiring special significance. Belarus is ready to act as a reliable link in this cooperation architecture. Our country offers partners not just favorable conditions for doing business, but a comprehensive system of interaction, including a transparent, time-tested legal framework, special economic regimes adapted to the needs of international investors, and developed infrastructure for technology transfer. I am confident that today's forum is not just a platform for discussions, but a starting point for specific joint actions that can already, in the medium term, provide a tangible economic effect for all participants. Thank you.
Concedo a palavra ao senhor deputado Vivek Thakur, membro da Câmara dos Deputados da República da Índia.
Member of the Chamber of Deputies of India.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson and
Mr.
distinguished
Vivek
delegates.
Thakur.
The catastrophic consequences of global warming are now well known. In recent times, the escalating global climate crisis has prompted nations to pursue environmentally friendly transformations. The shift towards sustainability, however, requires global involvement. Friends, investment in technology transfer for sustainable development is needed for mitigation because large-scale investments are required to significantly reduce emissions. Climate finance is equally important for adaptation, as significant financial resources are needed to adapt to the adverse effects and reduce the impacts of a changing climate. Integration of investment and technology transfer is a central tool for achieving SDGs, which will involve aligning national development policies with international collaborations, green innovations, and inclusive economic growth. I would like to recall here SDG 17, Target 17.16, which stressed to enhance the global partnership for sustainable development, complemented by multi-stakeholder partnerships that mobilize and share knowledge, expertise, technology, and financial resources to support the achievement of the sustainable development goals in all countries, in particular developing countries. India, as member of the international community, has time and again expressed its concern regarding this global problem. The adoption of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, at the Rio Earth Summit in 1992, and the subsequent adoption of the Kyoto Protocol in 1997, and later Paris Agreement in 2015 were remarkable initiatives in this regard. Technology transfer has been a key element of the climate action under UNFCCC. The Clean Development Mechanism was developed as the central instrument for transferring green technologies from developed to developing countries. But today, we all need to assess ourselves where we stand in comparison to the days when we adopted the Convention and its agreements. I emphasize the need for taking concrete collective global actions against global environment and climate challenge, guided by equity, national priorities and circumstances, and the principles of common but differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities. Collective effort, inclusive development, forms the cornerstone of India's national development agenda. India is a party to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, its Kyoto Protocol, and its Paris Agreement. I would like to recall the development commitment enshrined in the 2008 Doha Declaration and of the Monterrey Consensus of 2002 of providing 0.7% GNI as ODA by developed countries, and the measures contained in the Addis Ababa Action Agenda for making finance available for achieving 2030 Agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals. Friends, the third Voice of Global South Summit held in August 24 is an extension to the international arena of India's philosophy of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, or one earth, one family, one future, and our Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, and Sabka Prayas, meaning thereby everyone's support, everyone's development, everyone's faith, and everyone's effort. In the summit driven by a shared vision of a global South that fully achieves the Sustainable Development Goals and embarks on a rapid developmental trajectory beyond 2030, Prime Minister Modi also put forward a proposal for a comprehensive fourfold Global Development Compact comprising 4 elements. 1. Trade for development. 2. Capacity building for sustainable growth. 3. Technology sharing. 4. Project-specific concessional finance and grants. The official development assistance provided by developed countries constitutes an important source for financing the needs and SDGs of emerging economies. There is a need for a united voice to ensure that the developed countries honor their ODA commitments. The Government of India's approach to development partnership has been shaped by India's struggle for independence and solidarity with other colonized and developing countries, and the inspiring leadership of father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, who said, "I do want to think in terms of the whole world. My patriotism includes the good of mankind in general. Therefore, my service to India includes the service of humanity." Despite its own resource constraints, India has been sharing its developmental experiences and technical expertise with other countries in the spirit of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. We need to reinvigorate the spirit of constructive cooperation to come up with innovative and inclusive solutions to foster sustainable development. We must acknowledge that the multitude of challenges of today's dynamic and interdependent world can best be fought unitedly at the global level. SDG 17 speaks about strengthening the means of implementation and revitalization of the global partnership for sustainable development. Our mutual cooperation and collective actions will be crucial in bringing about transformation in the lives and livelihood of the people across the globe. Thank you very much.
Muito obrigado. Passo a palavra.
Thank you so much. I give the floor at this moment to our friend Marcelo Mahattan, representative of our dear state of Rio Grande do Sul in our Brazilian parliament.
Very good afternoon, everybody.
Boa tarde a todos.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be with you today. I am Marcelo Mahattan, a federal representative from Brazil and a proud member of Novo Party, a party that is committed to economic freedom, individual rights, democratic values, responsible governance. As someone who has long defended these principles, I am honored to speak on this panel dedicated to investment promotion and sustainable development, because these goals are not just about economics, they are about people's lives, their dignity, and their freedom to pursue opportunity. If we study the last few decades, we see a clear pattern. Nations that open their markets, protect property rights, welcome investment, and trade freely have made significant progress. And these are the examples that some of our countries have been actually also giving the world when it comes to open their markets to the world. China, India, Indonesia, Nigeria, Brazil, each in their own way, has experienced the benefits of greater economic openness. But let's be clear, economic growth cannot thrive without political freedom. Markets do not operate in a vacuum. Investors need legal certainty. Entrepreneurs need transparent institutions. And citizens must be able to participate freely in public life without fear of punishment. That's why I say free markets require free people, and free people must be allowed to speak their minds. This is why I must speak clearly against the growing threat across many countries, including my own: censorship. Censorship does not protect democracy, it weakens it. It does not promote stability, it erodes trust. And it certainly does not attract investment, as because where speech is controlled, innovation dies. When people are silenced, progress is suffocated. We must say this plainly: freedom of expression is not negotiable. It is a fundamental right and is essential to both democracy and sustainable economic development. Now, turning to BRICS. Our group of countries represents an enormous share of the world's population and resources. But with that comes a choice. Will BRICS be a platform for cooperation and progress, or will it be used wrongly as a tool to create new ideological divisions? Sadly, some leaders, including in the current Brazilian government, seem more interested in turning BRICS into a bloc of opposition against the West rather than a platform for collaboration and mutual respect. I am in the opposition in Brazil because I believe this approach is harmful, among other reasons. BRICS must not become a tool for confrontation. It should be a space where we build bridges, where countries learn from one another, attract investment together, grounded in freedom, democracy, and openness. Let us strengthen what truly matters: independent institutions, freedom of speech and press, transparent legal system, a stable rules-based environment for investment, and a civil society that is free to participate, question, and innovate. Because when these freedoms are protected, development becomes not only possible, but lasting. Let us ensure that people across BRICS nations and beyond have that chance. Let BRICS be a platform where markets are free, people are free, and voices are never silenced. And to conclude, I would like to tell the honorable members of parliaments from around the world coming to Brazil that unfortunately, even here in this Congress, we have members of parliament who are today subject to political persecution by the government of Lula. Among them, myself and Felipe Barros, the Speaker of the Committee of Foreign Relations. We want this Congress to be strong, not to have politicians who are persecuted by anybody, especially by the government of the Republic of Brazil. Thank you so much. Feel very welcome to Brazil. We hope to see you back. Thank you.
Agradeço ao deputado Marcel Van Hatten.
We'd like to thank Deputy Marcel Van Hatten, and I would like to thank and congratulate all the deputies and representatives for all your contribution here in this second session. I would like to request that you all stay in your seats because we'll have, starting now, the third session that is going to start in 2 minutes. I declare it as finished this session.